Okay, so this is the next topic is called higher derivatives. Initially, if we have y is a function of x, then the derivative of y with respect to x, which can also be written as f prime x, is sometimes now known as the first derivative. So first derivative. Now, because the derivative of a function is also another function, we can in turn get the derivative of that first derivative, and if it exists, it is called the second derivative of y with respect to x. So we can just write here, since f prime x is another function, then we can in turn find its derivative again. Okay. So it will be denoted by the derivative of y with respect to x for the second time, or sometimes this is y prime, y double prime. This is also denoted by f double prime x, or this is now the second derivative of our function, original function with respect to x. Okay, so the first derivative, as usual, we have learned the previous notation. This is a factor equal to y prime, or the derivative of f of x. So that was the usual notation. So this time you see a number 2, just a superscript for d, and another number 2, just like an exponent of x. Or you have here two prime notations. So this is called double prime, and or f double prime of x, or d with the power 2, and this means the second derivative. Okay. So the only problem using the prime notation is that the prime notation can only be used up to 3. Now, in case you now get the fourth derivative, the fifth derivative, and so forth and so on, you write the number, but you have to enclose it by parentheses. So in general, okay, the nth derivative of y with respect to x is denoted by, we have y, we cannot use prime so many times, so the limit of prime is up to 3 only. So if it is more than 3, you have to enclose the exponent by the parentheses. So this is the nth derivative of y. Then using the exponent dy dx notation, you can just, you don't need to enclose n by n parentheses. So this will be f n of x. So here you don't need to enclose by parentheses the nth derivative of f of x. So these are the notations in which you can use in finding higher order derivatives. Now I will give you an example. Find y prime, y double prime, and y triple prime. If we have y equals 4x cubed minus 6x squared minus 7x plus 9. So we first compute y prime as follows. So we write y prime is the derivative of y, which is equals to 12x squared. 2 times 6 is 12, reduce the power by 1, and then minus 7. So that is y prime. Now, to calculate the second derivative, we again get the derivative of the first derivative. So, dito na tayo titingin, no? So, we have y prime equals with 4x minus 12. And that's it. That's the second derivative. It is the derivative of the first derivative. And finally, you are asked to calculate the third derivative. So, it is the derivative of the second derivative. And so, therefore, this is equal to 24. If you want to continue, for example, you want to calculate the fourth derivative, notice that it is 0, fifth derivative is 0, and so forth, and so on. So for polynomial function, there are only up to order of the degree of the exponent in which the derivative is not equal to 0. So a maximum of up to the degree of the polynomial. Okay, let's take another example. In most applications anyway, we are only interested up to the second derivative. So let's say for example, we want y prime, find y prime and y double prime, knowing that y equals square root of x squared plus 1. So here we have y equals square root of x squared plus 1. Now, we can use one of the formulas because the right side is a square root function. So, we know that the derivative of square root of u equals the derivative of u with respect to x over 2 square root of u. Therefore, first derivative is equal to the derivative of the inside. We place it in the numerator. So, this is 2x. And then we just copy the given radical and multiply it by 2. So twice the given radical. So that's it. We just cancel 2. And this is equal to x over square root of x squared plus 1. So that is our first derivative. And to calculate the second derivative, the second derivative is just simply equal to, by the way, since the first derivative involves numerator and denominator, here we have to use the quotient rule. And remember that the derivative of u over v equals denominator, which is v, times the derivative of the numerator u minus numerator times the derivative of the denominator all over the square of the denominator. So we do that. So we first copy the denominator, square root of x squared plus 1 times the derivative of the numerator is 1 minus x times the derivative of the denominator. So this is just a square root function whose derivative is derivative of the inside over 2 times square root of x squared plus 1 divided by square root of x squared plus 1 squared. So we can cancel that. So we have a denominator square root of x squared plus 1. We can easily simplify this expression by multiplying by square root of x squared plus 1. And then distribute it here, so the square root sign cancels out, so we have x squared plus 1 here, square root of x squared divided by x squared plus 1 cancels out, so x times x, we have x squared, and then divided by, if you square this, so this is just x squared plus 1, and then we distribute that, so square root of x squared plus 1. So x squared minus x squared is 0. So we can now have y double prime equals 1 over, this is x squared plus 1 raised to 3 half, because this is raised to the first power and this is raised to the 1 half. So 1 plus 1 half is equal to 3 half. So this is first derivative, second derivative. So what is important in this new concept is that you cannot proceed immediately with the second derivative unless you compute the first derivative. You can only compute the second derivative once you know the first derivative. Okay. And you can only compute the third derivative once you know the second derivative. Because you have to get the derivative to second derivative to get the third derivative. And so forth and so on. And that's the new concept. So again, the formulas that we have learned so far will still be applicable. So you really have to memorize the 5 important formulas that we have: derivative of sum, product rule, quotient rule, the general power rule, and the constant times a function rule. And that's all.